Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning, happy people, happy Saturday. Good morning to everyone. Good morning, good morning. How is everyone this morning on this Saturday morning? God is so good. He's awesome and He's mighty in so many ways. And we just thank Him on today. Thank Him. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome. Welcome. God is so good. Happy Saturday to everyone. We're going to be talking about our chapter 20 in the 21 indispensable qualities of a leader. We're almost there. We have one more, 21, and we will be there. But we are going to be talking about that this morning. I thank God for each and every one of you. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. um, teachability. To keep leading, you have to keep learning. So I'm going to be talking about the teachability, chapter 20, and I hope that you will get something out of this video. Please, as you come in, please like the video, and if you're not a member, subscribe to the channel and even share the video once I am done. And also, if you'd like to donate to the channel, I do now have a Cash App, and I've always had PayPal. And if you're interested in any of my jewelry, also you can email me, and I have that information down there. But I'm going to get started regardless to get this video out here, whether people come in or not. I'm going to get started. And it says value your listening and reading time at roughly 10 times your talking time. This will assure you that you are on a course of continuous learning and self-improvement. And that is from Gerald McGinnis. He is the president and CEO of Respironics Incorporated. And then John Wooden, who is a Hall of Fame basketball coach, said, it's what you learn after you know it all that counts. And so we're talking about the indispensable qualities of a leader, and we're going to go ahead and get into fleshing it out. And it says, leaders face the danger of contentment with the status quo. After all, if a leader already possesses influence and has achieved a level of respect, why should he keep growing? And this is very, very true. We have to keep growing regardless of if we have received a or achieved a level of respect. We still need to keep growing. Your growth determines who you are. Your growth determines who you are, and who you are determines who you attract. And that's so true. Who you are, if you may attract, if you're an excited person, and you're always smiling and you're joyful and cheerful and you're positive, you're going to attract those type of people. And then if you're mean and hateful, you're going to attract those type of people. Birds of a feather flock together. So who you attract determines the success of your organization. And so most people want a positive experience when they're dealing and interacting with others. So therefore, you could have really good success. But if you are angry and evil and mean and dictating and very vulgar and negative, guess what? Then you more than likely will not be successful long term. And so if you want to grow your organization, you have to remain teachable. That's one of the things that's so important, is always being able to be teachable. Keep learning. If you want to keep leading, then you have to keep learning. You have to keep growing. And so he says to us, allow me to give you 5 guidelines to help you cultivate and maintain a teachable attitude. One of them is cure your destination disease. Ironically, lack of teachability is often rooted in achievement. Some people mistakenly believe that if they can accomplish a particular goal, they no longer have to grow. It can happen with almost anything: earning a degree, reaching a desired position, receiving a particular award, or achieving a financial goal. Some people stop growing after they achieve certain goals. And you can tell that they have stopped growing and they've stopped learning, because sometimes people will talk about their money in a manner that says, you need to learn a little more about this because you got money and now you stopped right here. Money does not make you smart. Just because you may have gotten some money doesn't really make you smart. We see a lot of people that have come into money and they've lost the money just as fast as they got it. They are broke because they didn't keep learning to learn how to invest and to save money and put it to good use so that it will be long term, even for generational wealth. And so sometimes people get in a position and they're only concerned about making that one position. It could be a lead or supervisor, and they stop growing. And then when people come under them that are steady learning and growing, they start to get insecure and even maybe some jealousy because they see that the person under them are still growing and can outgrow them. And they may even get insecure in the position that they serve in, and they get insecure, and it becomes a problem sometimes when someone that you report to and you are growing and learning and you're knowing a little more information than they are, and they become insecure, and they, because they're not growing like you are. And so it's very important to continue growing, whether you go to earn another degree or earn your degree, or even take some classes, or even go to workshops and get books and study and read. But it's always important to continue your learning if you're going to lead. And even if you're not in a leadership position, I've said this many times, you don't need to be in a leadership position to care enough about yourself, your family, your children, and others to continue to grow and learn. Okay, to be a person that is that elevates their level of education or awareness. But effective leaders cannot afford to think that way. The day they stop growing, and this is what he's saying when we're talking about people that stop growing when they meet a goal. He says, but effective leaders cannot afford to think that way. The day they stop growing is the day they forfeit their potential and the potential of the organization. Remember the words of Ray Kroc: as long as you're green, you're growing. As soon as you're ripe, you start to rot. And that's very true. Have you ever seen where you have bananas? That's why a lot of times people, if they're not going to eat bananas right away, if they buy bananas and they know that they can't eat them all at once, they're not making like banana pudding, or they're not making banana bread or banana cake. Then therefore, if they're not going to use those bananas right away, then they look for green bananas, or maybe they'll buy 1 or 2 yellow bananas that they know they're going to use to make a smoothie or put in some cut up and put in some cereal. But the rest of them are green because as soon as bananas are ripe, they start to rot. See how fast bananas start to turn brown within the week that you have purchased them. And then you have to overcome your success. Another irony of teachability is that success often hinders it. Effective leaders know that what got them there doesn't keep them there. So if you have been successful in the past, beware. And consider this: if what you did yesterday still looks big to you, then you haven't done much today, because what you done yesterday shouldn't look as big as what you're going to do today. Because as you keep learning and growing and keep tackling small issues, as you grow, you tackle smaller, that gets medium to gets larger, then it shouldn't be as difficult to continue to tackle bigger problems and to continue to grow. And then you have to swear off shortcuts. My friend Nancy Dornan says the longest distance between 2 points is a shortcut. He also goes on to say that's really true. For everything of value in life, you pay a price. And you do anything of value in life, we're going to pay a price. And as you desire to grow in a particular area, figure out what will it really take, including the price, and then determine to pay it. You have to figure out the price and then determine to pay the price. We go to the store each day, right? Or when we do go to the store week after week, and we see things that we like to buy, and we determine what the price is, and then we figure out if we really want to pay that. Am I saying something to someone? How many times you went in the store and you seen something you wanted, but then you look at the price, you figure it out, you determine the price, and then you go, it might not be in your budget, or it might not be something you feel is worth paying, even though you would like that item, but you already know that it may not be worth what they're asking for it. And we do know that happens a lot of times, even with overpriced things, or you go in a store and you see something, you can't find your size. You go online and they have the price double or triple, and you have to determine if you're willing to pay that price. And then number 4, trade in your pride. A lot of times pride will make leaders fail when there's so much pride and ego standing in the way. Because if you are a good, if you are a person that has good potential, but if you allow your pride to get in the way, you will not be that effective or successful leader that you can be. So teachability requires us to admit we don't know everything, and that can make us look bad, and it can hold us back, because we have to be teachable. And if we are not teachable, then guess what? Then it will hold us back, because we have to accept that we do not know everything. And in addition, if we keep learning, we must also keep making mistakes. As long as we are learning, we're going to make mistakes. When you stop learning, you probably will stop making mistakes when you stop learning, because you won't be able to see where you're growing. So your learning potential will stay at a standstill. So if you mastering everything you've already learned and you are good at it, you probably won't make a lot of mistakes. But as writer and expert craftsman Elbert Hubbard says, the greatest mistake one can make in life is to be continually fearing you will make one. So you can't worry about making mistakes. You have to get in there and you have to take a risk, and you have to be confident in the position that you serve in, and get in there and don't be worried about making mistakes, because you're going to make them anyway, because you're not perfect. Because that's the part of learning, is making mistakes. If you recall seeing a baby, when they first start to take their steps, they walk and they fall down. That's almost like making a mistake, but they get back up. And so that's the thing. We make mistakes, but we get back up. That's the important thing, as long as you're getting back up and you don't stay down there. And so you cannot be prideful and teachable at the same time. If you're prideful, it's hard to be teachable. You cannot let your pride get in the way of your learning ability. And Emerson wrote, for everything you gain, you lose something. To gain growth, give up your pride. So if you want to grow, you have to give up your pride. And number 5, never pay twice for the same mistake. You have to learn from your mistakes. There are people out here that keep making the same mistakes over and over, and they never learn from the same mistakes. And then we need to see that when other people have gotten themselves caught up in things, learn from those mistakes that they've made. Learn from those situations to keep yourself from getting caught up in the same mistakes that you see others out here making. So Teddy Roosevelt asserted, he who makes no mistakes makes no progress. That's true, but the leader who keeps making the same mistakes also makes no progress. As a teachable leader, you will make mistakes. Forget them, but always remember what they taught you. So don't dwell on your past mistakes. Remember what they taught you and learn from those mistakes and keep moving forward. If you don't, you will pay for them more than once, because you will keep dwelling on them. So don't keep dwelling on past mistakes. Write them down, understand what you did, figure it out, analyze it, and know that you don't want to make the same mistake twice. And then let's reflect on it. He says, when I was a kid growing up in rural Ohio, I saw this sign in a feed store. If you don't like the crop you are reaping, check the seed you are sowing. And that is so true. If you don't like the crop you're growing, guess what? You need to check the seed that you're sowing. That's a very, very profound statement. I don't like that crop, then I need to check the seed. Okay, because you don't like what you're planting, then plant something else. Though the sign was an ad for seeds, it contained a wonderful principle, and that is very true. Again, If you don't like the crop you're growing, then change the seed. Because if your crop is bad and you're seeing that you are sowing bad seeds, then you need to take a look at the seed, look within and see what's going on so that your crop can grow, can flourish. And the crop may be inside of you. So look within inside of yourself and see what you can change and see what you can improve. Sometimes it's hard for us to accept where we need to improve. That's not me. I didn't say that. I'm not that type of way. But sometimes we are that type of way, and we need to look within to see what we can improve. It is nothing wrong with knowing that we're not perfect. God knows that He did not design any perfect people. He knows we're going to make mistakes, but He still loves us. So if that is the case, then we got to look within ourselves and see where we can improve, see where we need to change, and see where we can grow. Don't beat yourself up so bad, but look within and say, you know what? God loves me. So guess what? I want to improve in this area. But you know, God, I am struggling. So God, help me to be consistent. Help me to improve and make the changes that I need to make to be more effective as a leader, as a parent, in my household, on my job, in my church, in my community. Whatever I do, Lord, help me to be a better person and make the changes to be more effective. And that's so important because it says again that we need to check the crop that we're reaping. We need to check the seed we're sowing. And then he goes on to say, what kind of crop are you reaping? So we ask the question, what type of crop are you reaping? So you can ask that question to yourself. What type of crop are you reaping? Do your life and leadership seem to be getting better day after day, month after month, year after year? Or are you constantly fighting just to hold your ground? If you're not where you hope you would be by this time in your life, your problem may be lack of teachability. And the thing about being teachable, you have to learn to be a good listener. See, being teachable and listening goes hand in hand, because if someone is teaching you some good things, then you have to be able to listen to what they're saying and have discernment, as well as being teachable and being a good listener and a reflective listener. So when was the last time you did something for the first time? When? And when was the last time you made yourself vulnerable by diving into something for which you weren't the expert? Observe your attitude towards growing and learning during the next several days or weeks to see where you stand. And then we need to bring it home. To improve your teachability, he gives us some lessons. Observe how you react to mistakes. Oh my, sometimes we make a mistake. We get so caught up and everybody sees it. It's in our body language. It's all on our face. Do we laugh it off, or because we're nervous or we're embarrassed or ashamed? Or do we take it with a grain of salt when we make the mistake and admit that we made it and apologize when appropriate? And that is so important. If you make a mistake, apologize when appropriate. And if you give out incorrect information and you find out you gave out incorrect information, go back and apologize and say, hey, how you doing, you all? Hey, team. Or, hey, I want to share something. I actually gave you some incorrect information last week or yesterday, and I want to correct that information. I apologize if I've confused anyone. Please don't be confused, because we're going to clear it up today. And make sure you clear it up. Are you defensive and get all angry and say, well, that's what they told me. If they hadn't given me the wrong information, I wouldn't have gave it to you. That's not the way to go, because people will not receive you in that manner. So observe yourself. Maybe even look in the mirror and have a mirror at your desk, or even if you're practicing a presentation, look in the mirror, observe yourself, and even ask a trusted friend's opinion. What do you think about me? What do you think about this? If they're really your friend and they are a good friend and they are an honest friend, they're going to tell you the truth, and they're going to do it in love. They're going to be kind about it, gentle, and do it in love. And if you react badly or you make no mistakes at all, you need to work on your teachability, because again, we all make mistakes. No one is perfect. And if anyone is telling you that they don't make mistakes and they're presenting themselves as an arrogant, narcissist person, I would run far away from them. Or then I was look at them and examine myself and say, you know what? I got to take what I can get from it. If you have no choice but to be under this person, maybe they're your supervisor or manager, take what you can, but always know that they need to work on their teachability, because a leader should always be able to be willing to learn and teachable. And when I did my first video on this, starting this leadership series, gotta be teachable and always willing to learn. And then you want to try something new. See, good leaders, they find a creative way. They find ways to get the job done. So try something new. Go out of your way today to do something different that will stretch you mentally, emotionally, or physically. Challenges change us for the better. See, if you're trying to lose weight or you're trying to eat healthy, go out of your way. Something is going to stretch you. Get out of your comfort zone. Don't be afraid. And if you're not used to walking, go ahead and start walking if you're able to. And if you only walk a mile, try walking a mile and a half. Try walking 2 miles. You have to stretch yourself mentally, emotionally, or physically. And challenges change us for the better. If you really want to start growing, make new challenges. If you really want to start growing, part of your daily activities. So make it part of your daily activities, and then learn in your area of strength. So you know what your strengths are. And if you don't, ask God to show you your areas of strength. But if you know them, then learn in those areas of strengths. So, whatever your gift is, learn in it, study in it, practice it. And it will help you. Read books, 6 to 12 books a year on leadership or your field of specialization, because you can get ahead and be better than who you are. Don't wait for your instructor or professor or someone to tell you, well, now it's time. Start reading and planning ahead. And when you see things that you're interested in, maybe buy the book, study it. But in your spare time, always do your research and do some reading. Continuing to learn in an area where you're already an expert prevents you from becoming jaded and unteachable. And then our daily takeaway. He says, after winning his third world championship, bull rider Tuff Hedeman didn't have a big celebration. He moved on to Denver to start the new season and the whole process over again. His comment, the bull won't take care of what I did last week. Whether you're an untested rookie or a successful veteran, if you want to be a champion tomorrow, be teachable today. Be teachable today. It's so important to continue learning and to always be teachable. And I thank everyone for stopping by to view this video. And there's other videos that we started 20 weeks ago with the 21 indispensable qualities of a leader, becoming the person others will want to follow. And so if you haven't been able to see every video and follow every video that I've done in this series, I pray that you'll get some time to go back and to watch them. And then our next video is the last one in this book. It's video 21, which I will be doing, and I will really try tomorrow to make an effort to do it. And if I can't get it out tomorrow, I'll do it on Monday. But I truly appreciate everyone stopping by my channel. So if you are not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. If you like the content, like the video and share this video. And then also I wanted to just give out a shout out to Cicely Tyson. Rest in peace. She was an icon in the movie industry. She came from a long way. She experienced a lot of things. And we just want to say salute to you, my sister. Rest in peace. But I want to say thank you again to everyone. I hope you have a wonderful, blessed weekend. Peace out on today.